Welcome back to Movie Recap Factory. Today, I will talk about an action crime film from 2021 titled Nobody. Without further ado, let's get started. The movie begins with Hutch Mansell, an underrated and unappreciated father and a husband. He works in an office at his father-in-law's, Eddie's metal fabrication business, and stays to himself most of the time. Hutch's wife Becca and son Blake don't seem to respect Hutch, breaking his heart every time, but he doesn't show his grief. The only family member in the house who loves Hutch is his younger daughter Sammy. One night, when everybody is about to sleep, two thieves, presumably a couple, break into the house and try to threaten Hutch's family. To keep damage to the minimum, Hutch decides to remain calm and lets the goons have the money. Meanwhile, Blake attacks one of the burglars, but later gives up on Hutch's instructions. The thieves leave the house, making the family mad at their father for not fighting with the goons to protect them. Everyone in the neighborhood and office, including his brother-in-law Charlie, makes him realize that there could be a better way to save the family. While talking to Harry on the radio, Hutch reveals that he was about to hit the thief with a golf stick when he found the gun empty. As the couple was scared and desperate, he let them go. Harry thinks Hutch did his best not to make a mess, therefore he advises him not to do something stupid. At the dinner table, when Sammy can't find her kitty bracelet, which she put in the money bowl, Hutch heads his way out to his father, Mr. David Mansell, an ex-FBI agent, who advised him to remember about the dignity of his family. After loading the gun given to him by Charlie, Hutch tells David that he has to take revenge. Entering the tattoo shop, Hutch tries to show his father's expired FBI ID for investigation. A man beside him utters with confidence that the identification card is expired. When the shop owner tries to surround Hutch with his goons, the older man witnessed a card tattoo on Hutch's arm, compelling him to leave the area immediately. It seems like he knows something about Hutch, but is too scared to talk. Hutch wants them to unfold the address of the person who got the bird tattoo from them. Seeing the strange act by the old man, the owner sends Hutch to his desired location. After recovering the watch that the thieves stole, Hutch learns that Lupita and Luis are pitiable parents who were doing the theft for their ill baby. Without getting the kitty bracelet back, Hutch leaves the place and bursts his anger on the street walls. As he is about to return home on the bus, some drunken men approach the area. Hutch prays to God to let the men enter the vehicle as if he wants to beat them. Seeing a girl alone on the bus, they try to abuse her but are stopped by Hutch, who later unloads the magazine and invites the goons for a fight. Even though Hutch gets critically injured, he manages to break a body part of each thug. When the argument doesn't satisfy him, Hutch returns to the bus, instructs the girl to leave, and beats the men again until they can't get up again. After reaching home, Hutch encounters Becca, who helps him care for his wounds. While talking, Hutch tells his wife how he misses her like the old days and wants to feel her presence. Becca cries while Hutch goes to sleep. Yulian Kuznetsoy, a wealthy Russian thug, enters the pub and dances with the musician. Meanwhile, Obshak, company stakeholder, advises Julian not to sing around in the pub as the act doesn't suit his personality. Hearing this, Yulian breaks his wine glass and kills the man behind him, who later turns out to be a 3% stakeholder in Obshak, the company whose black money is looked after by Yulian. After his brutal action, the whole pub cheers Yulian for making them the owner of his shares. As they celebrate, Yulian gets a call from the hospital informing him about his brother's critical condition. When Yulian approaches with his right hand Pavel, it is revealed that Teddy is the same boy who got beaten by Hutch that night. As his brain is critically damaged, doctors are unsure if he will ever walk again. Infuriated, Yulian picks up a chair and heads his way to the ward where other injured are kept. Hitting the chair to Teddy's friend, Yulian inquires about the incident, to which he responds that only one man did this. To search for the guy, Yulian takes his Metro card from one of the thugs and is now desperate to take revenge. Hutch wakes up with a more confident body and tells Blake he is proud of his son after his tackle during the robbery night. As they talk, Hutch gets a call from Harry, who states that it is good that he made a relapse. But one of the guys he has beaten was Yulian's brother. When Harry advises Hutch to ask the barber for confirmation, Hutch hangs up the phone. After Harry insists on him, Hutch heads his way to the barber, where he meets Banyan, who seems to have known Hutch for a while. Telling Hutch about Yulian, Banyan explains how he is a connected, funded sociopath with the resources to make things complicated. When Hutch inquires about Yulian, Banyan informs him about his background, art collection craze, and role in the Obshak company. While investigating Hutch, Yulian learns nothing about David's nursing home. To discover more about Hutch, the female employee sends a blackmail message to his friend in the Pentagon, warning him to release his picture if he doesn't follow the orders. While he enters Hutch's name on the computer, access denies, confusing him even more. With nowhere to go, he heads to the information room to review Hutch's documents. She seems shocked when he sends information about Hutch. After packing her bags, she informs Yulian about her termination from the job. Seeing Hutch's photo, Yulian calls Pavel to bring him alive. At the dinner table, Hutch serves his handmade lasagna and informs his plan to go on a vacation in Italy with the family. Everything is seemed to be getting better. But just then, Hutch witnesses cars approaching from the house and orders his family to head their way to the basement. Becca is stunned to see a digital board under the switches and inquires about the situation. Without disclosing anything, Hutch turns off the power and instructs Becca not to call 911. Although Hutch fights fiercely, Pavel manages to take Hutch with him. Gaining his consciousness back, Hutch fills the car with gas, crashing the vehicle into the pole. Pavel dies in the accident, while Hutch rushes to evacuate the house until the situation is handled. He gathers all the invaders on the sofa and explains his story about being an assassinator, working for top agencies to kill the men who were too difficult to arrest. Hutch continues by stating that after seeing one of the targets, whom he let go, happy with his family, he decided to live his life. Quitting the game, he started his own family, away from the bullets, and lived a far better life than expected. As he talks, the goons die while Hutch leaves the area, setting the house on fire. When Julian's men approach the nursing facility to take David down, they are shocked to see David's retaliation, which kills both of them in no time. Giving Eddie a couple of gold bars, Hutch buys the factory. Although Charlie opposes his father's decision, Hutch punches him in the abdomen, making his intention clear. After writing a note on the door about the factory's closure for some days, Hutch starts to prepare for the combat. Later, he heads his way to Julian's place, kills every guy there, and sets the money on fire. After showing his unnatural skills, Hutch begins to eat dinner at Julian's bar. Seeing Hutch in front of him, Julian surrounds him with his goons. But before the guards can kill him, Hutch removes the cloth from the bomb and requests a meeting with Julian alone. Hutch informs Julian about Obshek's assets being burned down to ashes, while Julian seems infuriated. Hutch shows his anger by stating that Julian broke into his house, while Julian reveals his brother's death in response. Saying that Julian also wanted to quit Obshek, Hutch offers that why don't they both leave each other right now and start their new life again, giving Julian more time to think. Hutch leaves while Julian pulls fires at him and follows the car with his goons. After a fire battle between them, they approach the factory, where Hutch witnesses David and Harry take his back. David, vulnerable in the nursing facility, has now lived up again to refresh his memories. He tells his son that he was tired of the retirement and now he can't wait to knock everyone off. The goons enter the factory but get killed one by one. Each of them gets critically injured by Hutch's traps until they die. Not only David, but Harry gets wild and assassinates everyone in his way. In the end, Julian, injured by one of the bombs, gets up and points the gun at the trio. They are out of ammo and have no way to get out of the situation. Tapping the bomb at the glass, Hutch runs toward Julian and pulls the trigger, blowing his face and resulting in his painful demise. Hutch says goodbye to the family and calls Becca to apologize for what happened, demanding another chance to make things right. Hearing a cat, Hutch picks it up, but as he is about to leave with Julian's art, he witnesses police outside. After being arrested, he is inquired by the officers about his name, to which he responds that he is nobody. They look at him and demand a much better answer. However, after receiving a call from their senior, all they can do is look at Hutch with the expression of shock on their faces. Hutch buys a new property for his family. After getting a call from an unknown number, the couple inquires the real estate agent if the house has a basement. The movie ends with Harry calling David's father, while both make their way to a new state with a load of guns at the back. If you have already watched this movie, share your reviews with us in the comments below. Before you go, make sure to like this video and subscribe.